September is here again. The air begins to get cooler, perfect for evenings of romance. Possibly. It's not really like I know, being single my whole life. I mean, people could fall in love or already be in love at that time. They probably could any day of the week, any day of the year. There are like 365 of them. And sometimes there's one more. You know, that one day that shows up every 4 years that has something to do with the Earth and orbit stuff or something science related like that? Yeah, love can even happen on the 29th of February. Maybe even proposal or marriage. What would actually happen if a couple married on the 29th? Would they only have their anniversary every 4 years? I actually think that would make it much easier for men, because the stereotypical thing for them to do is forget their anniversary. I guess they just have to worry about forgetting things less often. But these aren't the only things that happen in September. We all go back to school. Heartache 101 is a game I happened to find when I was searching for visual novels. It's a dating simulator. I don't play these because I'm desperate or anything. I know I haven't actually had a girlfriend before, but whatever. I'm not lying. After the title screen, we must name our character, who is going to be a male high school student, because you can't play as a girl in this game, and I don't really care. Now, what was my name again? What is it that? It'll come to me soon. Since the game takes place in first person, I'll be mostly talking like I'm actually in the game. The story begins with me showing up to school late. Not long after that, I encounter my childhood friend Mickey. Well, if I can call her a childhood friend, I guess. She comments on my hair and then we exchange insults. Then both of us head to class and go through more introduction stuff. This school divides genders for some reason, so most classes only have one gender of students. There are a few exceptions though. Apparently I have a crush on a student in the grade above me. Her name is Shihoko. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. That's what I get for playing a Japanese game, I guess. Anyways, once the first class is over, I head out into the hall expecting to see Shihoko, but we bump into Mickey instead. She soon realizes what I was doing and tries to make fun of me. She says that I can't get a girlfriend, and I tell her that I don't want a girlfriend. That sounds like something I'd actually do in real life. Once the day is over, I decide to head home, only to encounter Mickey and her best friend, Keika? Why does everything have to be hard to pronounce in these kinds of games? Anyway, so two of them propose a competition. Who could get into a relationship in 101 days, me or Mickey? I accepted. Then I get home and ask myself a question that will determine what trait of mine will be the strongest. Looks, personality, soul, athletics, and mind. And with that, the first day of the competition begins. This is where the gameplay changes. Now we're playing on a board map similar to Mario Party, but unlike Mario Party, people wouldn't make fun of you for playing this alone. They just give you that whole "you're playing this because you're desperate" speech, unless these people are actually nice to you or something. The first options the player has are move and wait. Move is exactly as it sounds, and so is wait. When you move, the number of spaces you move is generated by chance. Choosing to wait, you'll just stand still, and the girls on the map, which I'll talk about soon, will move around. As you get further, you'll have some more options on the board map parts of the game. You'll be able to use items that you pick up at item spaces, as well as use special moves that you obtained from these spaces on the map. When you walk to one of the girls on the map, as in land on the space that they're in, you'll trigger an event, whether story-driven or just a quick "what do you want to say to her" thing. If you land on an arrow, you'll be given a couple of options, a certain amount of spaces that you can move back or forward if you want. The amount for forward and back isn't always going to be consistent though. Landing on a question mark will trigger a random event. It can be something like the amount of spaces you'll have to move, wiping chalk stains off of yourself to look better, losing money to irresponsible classmates, as well as many other things. Lastly are the bugs. If you land on them, you'll get sick and have to spend the rest of the day at home. I don't know why, but whenever these are on the board, I always end up going home sick. With that out of the way, it's time to begin. So right away I bump into Mickey, who claims she already has a boyfriend somehow. So I give up. I quit. That's all for today. If you liked what you saw, you should subscribe. Okay, not really. I have more to talk about. Then we encounter Keika, who claims to be a disinterested party on the whole thing, but I'm not buying that. At the end of each day, the player has to choose where to go. Right away, you won't have as many places. You'll have the train, which you can take to the station or to the market. Then there's the library for improving your mind, the shrine for improving your soul, a children's park, a convenience store, and an internet cafe where you can discover more locations to go after school. Well, on the second day, I bump into Mickey again, who wants to know if I have a girlfriend yet. I don't. Then she wants to race me because she wants everything to be a competition. I decided to race her, but I tripped and fell on top of her by accident. Oh well, she wanted to race. It's her fault. Next, I encounter a girl that I haven't met before who seems to be very antagonistic toward me. She looks at me like I did something wrong. So, like I probably would in real life, I say, whatever it is, I didn't do it. Then she says that whatever it was that I did do, I'm guilty of. Then she leaves. The next day in class, I overhear something very interesting. It turns out Mickey's so-called boyfriend was just bribed by Keika. So I have nothing to worry about now. When I find Mickey in the hallway, I tell her that I found out. I then tell her that she's not his type. She wasn't pleased with what I had to say. I also let Keika know that I found out about what she did. Mickey ends up going on a date with the unlucky guy who was bribed, and the next day she says that he wasn't her type. You know, kinda like exactly what I said the day before. Anyways, I went most of the day with no encounters with females. There was one girl that I saw on my way out of school though, but I will talk about her later. After school, I head for the gym where I find Keika, who is waiting for her boyfriend, who is very late. It would be revealed on Monday that he never showed up. What a swell guy. After a bit of conversation, it's time to head home for the night, and the next day I'd be out of school. According to the game, I go to school 6 days a week, which is why 6 days in an in-game week will have the board game thing. The last day of the week, Sunday, is when the player finds out about having a part-time job. So it looks like I'm a janitor, just what I always dreamed of. Anyways, delinquents are always hiding in the stalls looking for a fight while I'm trying to clean. And so, it's time for a minigame. The goal is to pick up all of the toilet paper while avoiding the delinquents that over time come out of the stalls one by one. Imagine Pac-Man, but 1,000 times more impossible. I mean, I really can't win on this. Every time I get into a fight and work is over for the day. Once the player has either won or lost the minigame, it is time to go back to school. This is when Mickey informed me that Keika's boyfriend didn't show up. Anyways, I don't care. I have more important things to do, like clicking my mouse and making things happen in this game. I end up having another encounter with the one girl who seems to hate me for some reason. Before she left last time, I found out that her name was Riho. Anyways, she's still very antagonistic toward me. A couple days later, I encounter Riho again. She's talking about me behind her back with her friends. Apparently, I'm creepy. I got the chance to talk to her and find out why she was so antagonistic. She saw me trip and fall on top of Mickey the week before and thinks that I'm desperate for a girlfriend. But her logic is flawed. I'm competing against Mickey, so why would I go after her? In that case, we'd both win and lose. After pointing out the flaw, she leaves after telling me that I still look at least a little creepy. Nothing interesting really happened for the rest of the week. But the next week, I went to the station and found a random note in my pocket from somebody who apparently knew me from somewhere. While thinking it wasn't meant for me, I threw the paper away. Though, to be honest, I really want to know more about this. Then more events happened the next day, including Keika bribing somebody to go out with Mickey. Again. Then the next day, Keika offers to help me get a girlfriend. I want to know what will happen if I accept, so I'm going to accept her offer. Now, I'm supposed to meet her at the children's park after school. Unfortunately, I landed on a bug space, so I guess it'll have to be postponed. When I returned to school, I found out that Mickey's second arranged date didn't go so well. So more points for me, I guess, if that's how it works. Because I'm not cheating. I don't consider Keika's help to be cheating because nobody's accepting bribes. Anyways, I meet her at the park after school, and she is with the girl I saw on my way out of school like forever ago, even though it wasn't that long. After we're introduced, Keika leaves me alone with Akari, because that's her name. Our conversation is extremely short and she leaves. Seems like this plan didn't work. That's all I have time for at the moment, but if you liked what you saw, subscribe. If you're already subscribed, hit that like button and add the video to your favorites or something. If you don't like the video, there's a dislike button. If the dislike button isn't enough for you, then go away and never come back.